friends, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to hear the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there was a widow who had a son named Jack. And unfortunately, they were very, very poor. And one day, Jack's mother said, "We have nothing to eat. We are going to have to sell our cow in order to get food to eat." And so she sent Jack off to the city to sell her cow to get some food. Now, as Jack was walking along, he met an interesting man. And the man said, "Are you going to sell that cow?" And Jack said, "Yes, I've got to sell this cow so that we have something to eat." And the man said, "Well, I will buy your cow for 5 magic beans." And so Jack sold his cow for 5 magic beans. When he got home, his mother said, "Oh, did you sell your cow?" And Jack said, "Yes, Mother, look, I got 5 magic beans." And his mother said, "You fool! You sold our cow for beans!" And she took those beans from him and threw them on the ground. Well, Jack went to bed very sad because he was worried about his beans. But in the night, something started growing up and up and up and up. The beans had sprouted and they grew a very tall, strong bean vine. So the next morning, when Jack got up, he looked out his window and saw a very, very tall beanstalk. So he went out and he started climbing up, 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 up. When he got to the top of the beanstalk, he found a whole nother world where a giant lived. And he went in to the giant's house, and he went into the giant's kitchen, and he found the giant's wife and said, "I am so hungry." And the giant's wife gave him some milk and bread.
Soon the giant came in and said, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread."
But the giant's wife said, "There's no Englishman here. Just eat your supper." So the giant ate his supper and went into the parlor where he sat down and counted out his gold. Well, Jack slipped in as the giant was counting and counting and counting and getting tireder and tireder and tireder until the giant went to sleep. And Jack slipped in and grabbed a bag of gold and ran and slid down the beanstalk and gave the gold to his mother. And his mother was so happy, and they had food to eat and money to spend for a little while. But pretty soon they ran out. And so Jack climbed back up the beanstalk and he went into the giant's house and into the kitchen, and he said, "I am so hungry." And the giant's wife gave him milk and bread to drink. Milk to drink and bread to eat. But pretty soon the giant came in and said,
"Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman."
Well, the giant's wife said, "There's no Englishman here. Just sit down and eat your supper." So that's what the giant did. Pretty soon the giant went in and started counting his money.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, this time Jack noticed that all of the gold was coming from a hen, a little chicken that was laying golden eggs. So when Jack went in this time to steal something from the giant, you know what he stole? That's right, he stole the hen that laid the golden eggs, and he slid down the beanstalk and he gave the hen to his mother. And they were so happy. But pretty soon, the hen stopped laying golden eggs. So Jack had to go and find some more gold. So he climbed up the beanstalk, climbed up the beanstalk, climbed up the beanstalk, and he went into the kitchen and he saw the giant's wife and he said, "I am so hungry." And she gave him some milk and some bread. Pretty soon the giant came in and said,
"Fee-fi-fo-fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread."
And the giant's wife said, "There's no Englishman here. Just eat your supper and be happy." So the giant ate, and then he went in. Well, the giant didn't have any money to count anymore because he was missing his chicken that laid the golden eggs. So now he just sat and listened to his magical harp. And as he listened, he got drowsier and drowsier and went to sleep. Well, Jack slipped in and he grabbed the magic harp and he slipped out. But it was a magic harp. And the magic harp goes, "Master, master, somebody is stealing me, somebody is stealing me." Well, that woke the giant up, and the giant started chasing Jack, and Jack slid down the beanstalk. But do you know who was sliding down the beanstalk right behind him? That's right, it was the giant. So Jack grabbed an axe and started cutting the beanstalk, and suddenly they all went shoof and fell. And oh my goodness, the giant fell and he died. Well, now Jack had a magical harp that every time the harp played, the hen would lay a golden egg. And so Jack and his mother lived happily ever after. The end.